Lastly, I'd like to call on Lorelei Root, Chair of the Guelph Accessibility Advisory Committee, to speak.
Hello. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming today. I'm grateful for everyone showing up for this flag raising, and thank you to the Guelph Barrier Free Committee as well for hosting, and thank you to Sarah Cunningworth and Leanne Warren for the tireless work that they do every day at the city, and other city staff that do so much to make sure that Guelph can stay an accessible place for all of us. I'm reminded today that accessibility means something different to everyone, and honestly, it means something different to me every day, because I have something called relapsing-remitting multiple sclerosis. So that means that my disability changes almost every day. Some days I have a lot of difficulty with reading, and some days I don't have any. Some days I have a lot of pain and numbness and paralysis, and other days I don't. Some days, like today, I'll be using my wheelchair, other days I use a walker, and other days I walk completely unassisted, sometimes even in high heels. So that's called being an ambulatory wheelchair user, and it's actually the reality for a lot of wheelchair users. And because MS is a degenerative disease that impacts people more over time, my accessibility needs are going to continue to change. And so that's why I think one of the most important things that we can remember about accessibility is that as disabled people, we're not a monolith. There's no one solution that's going to work for everyone. So we need a lot of different options for solutions, and we need to look at accessibility through a cross-disability lens that takes everyone's needs into account. On days like today, I'm also reminded that accessibility is about more than this, right? It's about more than flag raisings and public speaking. Make no mistake, I don't mean to call anyone out at all. In fact, I'd like to take an opportunity now to just gently call everyone in and say that if we're going to talk about accessibility, let's really talk about it. Accessibility is about more than flags. It's about more than showing up when the cameras are on and making social media posts on National Days of Awareness. It's about factoring disabled people into every discussion we have, be it about parking or housing or concepts like pedestrian-only spaces. It's about how we choose to show up in our daily lives as well. Are we all taking the extra few seconds it takes to add alt text and captions to the photos and videos on our social media posts? Are we listening to feedback from the disabled community when they raise issues about equity and discrimination, or do we choose to ignore those people? Are we centering the voices of disabled people in discussions where decisions are being made? Because words are lovely and flag raisings are lovely, but are we backing up these words with actions? We all need to pay attention to when people and businesses are and aren't backing up their words with actions. Because a failure to do so is virtue signaling that won't get us any closer to true accessibility. So today I'm going to reflect on some things that I can do to bring accessibility to the forefront every day. And I'd like to invite everybody here to do the same. Let's keep this conversation going beyond just this flag raising. Let's keep this passion for accessibility and carry it through the remainder of the week, the remainder of the month, the remainder of our lives, because it can be too easy sometimes to only talk about accessibility on days when we're reminded by a flag raising or an email from HR. Let's hold ourselves and our local businesses and our elected officials accountable to not just talking the talk, but also always walking the walk. Because if we do this, I believe we will truly see a more accessible future for the disabled individuals that live here in Guelph. Thank you again to everyone here and the Guelph Barrier Free Committee, Leanne and Sarah and staff. I really appreciate all that you all do.
Thank you so much, Lorelei. You've highlighted some important ways that we can all increase accessibility in our daily lives.